Hello, I'm Harvie S., and I'm here at Kolstein, NYC. Hello, I'm Harvie S., and I'm here at Kolstein, NYC. We're located in the Essex Marriott Hotel, right across the street from Central Park, near Columbus Circle. And this is a full-service bass shop where they have basses, cellos, violins, violas, everything you could want, repairs, fix the bows, strings, you name it, rosin. And this is a podcast, and it's called Bass in the Corner, and it's interviews with bassists who are vital to the New York music scene. The people that we're interviewing in this is series 2, by the way. In series 2 are the people that if you go to a jazz club or you go to a Broadway show or you go around to hear music, you're probably going to see one of these people play. And it's very special that they get a chance to be heard. And it isn't just about music. This is about their personal stories. So when you go see them play, you could even walk up to them and say, "Oh yeah, I saw your podcast, and I love that story about how you got started or on the bass or whatever." And it's kind of a cool thing. So anyway, I'm really honored again, because all the bass players that are doing this are phenomenal. And this is my old friend, good buddy, Ruben Rodriguez. How you doing, Ruben?
I'm good, Harvie. Thank you very much, and thanks for inviting me to be part of this.
Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you. So, basically, if you go on Wikipedia, you're like a legend. There's all kind, you can read about all the great stuff you've done, and they all should. But this podcast, we're going to talk about some different things to give a different light on things. And so, like, what are you doing now? I mean, give us some of your recent stuff that won't be in Wikipedia yet.
Right, okay. So, basically staying busy. I'm mainly on the Latin scene here in New York. So, I've been, for the last couple of years, working with this lady, La India, and she's kept me busy the last 2 years. We've been really busy, mainly weekend things out of town and stuff.
Yeah, I love La India.
And then, doing some sessions, which are far and few in between now, and, that keeps me busy, I mean, not the home studio, because I don't have that set up yet. But I'm staying busy doing, nobody records whole albums anymore, or whole CDs or whatnot. So everything is one song here, one song there. I got 3 next week, which is really great. So, but that doesn't happen too much anymore, not too often.
Yeah, so you're doing a lot of that. But great. So, well, this is other people. I said, like, when you were a kid, I doubt you. I mean, I may be wrong, but I doubt your parents said, "Ruben, we want you to be a bass player." I don't know. Maybe you did, but it doesn't happen often that the parents think, "I want my son to be a bass player," or my daughter to be a bass player. No. So how did you get into bass?
So in junior high school, I mean, I already played guitar because my father plays guitar.
Okay, so you come from music.
Classical guitar and and popular music of his generation, trios and stuff like that. So I get into junior high school, 7th grade. It was either typing or music, So I said, I think I'll choose music. Let me go to music. So when I walk into the class, there's a big acoustic bass in the corner, and I was kind of, I was always been a tall kid. So as soon as I walk in, Mr. Jose Segarra, who was a music teacher, who I hooked up with right before the pandemic, and we couldn't meet because of what happened with the pandemic. Anyway, he passes away. and I never got a chance to go see him again. But anyway, he sees me walking in, and he goes, "You're gonna play that thing."
Little did he know how right he was.
Well, I wasn't too happy. To say the least. I was like, how am I supposed to pick up girls playing that? You know, the chick's not gonna look at me. Anyway, but I stuck with it. You know, that was like September, when the school starts, September 76, maybe, September 76. In January, the following year, the school gets a bass guitar. And it's like, oh, okay, I can dig this. But in the meantime, I have been studying with Victor Venegas, who you knew well.
Yeah, Victor was a good friend.
Yeah. And so I had already gotten into, you know, the study. And Victor used to press my fingers against these at the Johnny Colon Music School in El Barrio, East Harlem. These horribly set up acoustic basses, some with steel strings, some with gut strings, and the strings are like yay high off the fingerboard. But Victor used to say, no, here's the half position. Okay, and then I was like, no, but you're not getting the sound. So you take my finger and press it, my pinky, and press it.
That's Victor.
And then like, yeah, man, a couple of times I would bleed, you know. Oh, yeah. Now you get a sound. Now plug it. Here, he's there pressing my finger on the fingerboard. And you know, then a little after that, I acquired an acoustic bass. And shortly thereafter, I got the baby bass, which is the main staple in Latin music. Still, you know, it was at that time, it still is today. So you know, a lot of the work I do is, you know, 50% electric, 50 upright. But the upright is almost 100% the baby bass. You know, because I'm, you know, I'm still on the Latin scene. I played some acoustic, you know, but nobody calls for that. I don't get those calls, you know.
Well, I think it's a volume thing.
That too.
Because acoustic bass, it's really hard to get the volume. You
Amplify
play
it,
the
yeah.
baby bass, it's like it booms,
And then with
it
those
carries the whole
guys
room.
banging drums and stuff, you know, the top is, you know, they'll feed back, you know. It's been my experience.
You can't. It's hard to play with a burning Latin group on acoustic bass.
To record is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a couple of things, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, big band things with Arturo Farrell and you know, a couple
And
of movie soundtracks and stuff.
when Bobby Rodriguez played with like Tito, that band didn't play that loud.
No, everybody had touch. You know,
Yeah.
there was there was what? The PA system was one microphone for the singers.
So they were playing quiet.
I wish you could go back to that.
Oh, it was amazing, those recordings of Bobby Rodriguez. Wow.
With Tito and Machito, yeah. Great,
You know,
great.
I never get tired of that. Yeah, so that's good. So then you started to play bass, and I know that you play. You know, you've played a lot of electric bass, and then but you played on acoustic bass, and you play on the baby bass, and you talked about putting a wood bridge on it, and I think they could do that for you here. So we'll try to talk to you.
This is so convenient here, you know.
Yeah.
It's like,
Now you can come.
right
You got
in
the
Midtown,
shop
yeah.
right
Yeah.
here. And if they can't do a repair here, what they'll do is they ship it to Baldwin, where they have, you know, Baldwin's 5 times bigger than this room.
No, I've been there.
Yeah, it's huge, and they have all the machines. And
Right.
you know, if they put out those machines with the lathes and you know, the sawdust in this room, you couldn't come in this room. So they have to do small repairs here, rehair seams and stuff like that. But good. So now, being on the music scene as long as you've been on, I don't care how much you prepare or whatever you do, weird things are going to happen, right? Constant.
Oh, yes.
More times than you can count. But, you know, you must have some good kind of crazy stories if you don't get too...
Well, I don't get too burned.
No,
No, well,
but
check it out.
yeah,
One of the funniest stories I got, I wasn't even playing. I was a witness to a funny event.
That's good.
I mean, we were on the same gig, but there was the other band playing, and the singer called a bolero. It was a ballad.
Okay.
The singer happens to be a bass player as well. So, you know, the bass player doesn't know the song. So he's like fumbling on the changes. And the singer goes over, playing baby bass. The singer goes over, play. Grabs the baby bass. He goes, boom, boom, until he found the key and then kept on and played. Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh, God.
And then, as a kid, man, Machito and Tito Puente screaming at me, no, tonic and dominant. Tonic y dominante, tonic y dominante. They want to hear the 5 and the 1.
Man, to come in after Bobby Rodriguez, you had to be
forget it.
like, I gotta do this right.
Well, that's what made me, like, in Tito's case, he yelled at me. This was 1980. I was 18, 1982. He yelled at me, no, play this. There was an expletive there in the middle. Play this. And I was reading the chart, reading Mambo, never forget, and there was something penciled in on the side, but I couldn't hardly see it because it had the original charts from the 50s. And I'm talking about
With
1982.
all the coffee stains.
Oh my God, yeah. But that, the next day I went to what I refer to as like my second music school, La Casa Latina, a record shop in the barrio. It's no longer there, unfortunately, because the owner passed away.
I remember Casa Latina, yeah.
So, and I bought the records that that particular song was on Dance Mania, and I learned the style. And I saw what I heard what Bobby played on that, because it was not what was written, and I started practicing the style of that band, because I was coming, I was a kid, playing, whatever was happening in the top 40 stations here in New York at the time, because I was born and raised here, I'm born in Manhattan, and then try to adapt through other guys that I was listening to at the time. Sal Cuevas was one of them, Eddie Guagua, Rivera, Bobby Valentin.
Yeah.
And try to adapt, but that didn't work.
Bobby had
with those things. Yeah, Bobby had it. Definitely had a thing. And he influenced all those other guys that I mentioned, big time. Yeah. But the style was different. And it made me aware. Of, okay, this is what I need to do to get this job done.
Yeah, well, you're one of the people that really knows Bobby Rodriguez style.
I got to hang
better
out
than
with
just
him,
about anybody maybe around. I mean, you have your thing, but that.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Yeah, that
and that's
definitely was
important.
And I got to hang out with him a lot.
I only got to meet him one time.
Yeah, no, I used to call him during the week. Where are you working at this weekend? And he'd tell me, and I show up and wait for him. I was the band boy. He'd pull up. I take out the Ampeg B15, which I have at home, and the bass, and go set it up while he go park. And then I will sit down next to him, and those are my lessons.
Yeah, you can study him forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of amazed at his intonation was dead on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And his notes were
choices,
but sound-wise, so under control. Mm-hmm. Like every note was like sculpted, perfect. And the way he would, he'd be playing a tumbao, he'd go boom, boom, bee. That high note would go like, yee. Like, I don't know how we did that.
Well, man, they just watching him. I didn't get to see him play upright too much.
Right.
But I did give him a baby bass so that he can use while around. And he did, take it out to Giza, and then he started traveling with it. So there are some videos of him later playing, the baby bass and stuff. But most of the time when I saw him, he was already playing electric.
Yeah. But
But it's saying the same concept,
Yeah, whatever he played. I mean, he's the cat. But you're the cat now, because you're the guy.
Thank you. Try.
No, you're the guy. And, I heard you play baby bass when you did that thing with Andrea at Lincoln Center.
Oh yeah, well because that's the sound for that band.
Yeah, that was so nice. I stayed
Yeah.
for 2 sets for that.
I know. That's when you told me about the strings.
Right, and I told you
Yeah.
about the Kolstein strings.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, now you're in the shop. What do you think of this shop?
Man, it's lovely, and I love the location.
Yeah, you can't
you know?
beat that.
Yeah, a lot of wood in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna be paying him a visit soon.
Yeah, and you know, we do jam sessions here, and we're doing some concerts. We did Sheila Jordan's 95th birthday party
Wow.
here.
Okay. Yeah.
We had a full place, was jam packed full.
Those are great recordings that my friend Harvie has put on. Yeah.
And we did that here, and so we've been doing events, and then, you know, you played that bass. That was like one of our picks. You know, we're trying to, like, so when you go to a bass shop, a lot of times the basses are not set up and they're not ready, and you have to kind of guess what they're going to be. But we have like a whole wall of basses that are Barry and I set up with the Kolstein Heritage strings, and these basses, you can pull them out now, go to a gig, and you're fine.
Wow.
So they're really, really good. So it's
And then a piece of history. Too.
And
that one right there.
that's Scott LaFaro's bass there, and that's Eddie Gomez.
Eddie Gomez's bass, yeah.
So, you know, we're sandwiched between two of the icons of bass having their instruments here. And then in the main shop, they have Percy Heath's bass.
Man, you know, he was one of the first jazz bassists I met when I did my first tour with Machito in Europe in '82.
Wow.
I think, and everything that Santi was saying, I lived through all that. Remember Checkpoint Charlie? Somebody with a camera in the bus, one of the musicians, and they got busted. The guy came in, camera, and took out the film and exposed it, and then gave it back. Yeah, those guys were hot. But the, you know, like at some festival in Switzerland, because we flew into Frankfurt and then drove to Switzerland, Lucerne or something like that, maybe. I can't remember where it was. But the Heath brothers were there, and I met Percy Heath there. Really nice guy. Really nice guy.
The Heath. I had dinner one time with the Heath brothers, all three of them, and I said to them, I mean, they were so funny. It was like I said, it was like having dinner with the Marx Brothers or something. They were completely hilarious guys. I said to them, I said, I can't even imagine what went on at the dinner table when you were kids.
No.
And they said, and he looked at me, he goes, it got pretty wild.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of those guys that I met through my association with the Machito Orchestra, man, all those guys had great sense of humor. Machito was funny as heck too.
Oh.
You know, Bobby had a great sense of humor, and you know, all those guys knew each other from that era. You know, they were around each other.
I
all
don't
the time.
trust somebody if they don't have some kind of a sense of humor.
I know.
You know, if some people are like always like that, you know, I'm nervous with them. I like people that can joke around and have some
Definitely,
fun.
yeah.
You know, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, Ruben. Hey, man.